Hi, it's Kevin Levates here. So Ayman Nazil asked me a question on one of my previous posts, namely, if you've got an idea, how do you go about registering or protecting it so that other companies can't take it off you? So I thought I would discuss this a bit. So the first thing to note is that ideas are a dime a dozen. It's really having an idea plus a good business case that shows that the idea will actually raise revenue, will actually make profits. Otherwise, you might as well either continue with it as a hobby or make it open source if it's useful but not profitable, because nobody is going to be interested in buying it off you, and there's certainly no point in forming your own startup. If, however, you do have an idea that you think has a real business case and may lead to a profitable product for somebody, then the first step is keep it secret and start your own company and get a head start on the competition in developing and moving it forward. The second thing is you can go and negotiate with a company that you think would be interested in buying the idea plus the business case, in which case you should be signing a non-disclosure agreement, or an NDA, and that will probably be a mutual one. Certainly make sure that it defends what you are revealing to the company. But the problem with an NDA is that if, despite it, a company goes ahead and takes your idea and starts running with it, although to be honest this is fairly unlikely, you would have to litigate in order to get compensation. So you as an individual, a lone inventor, are not going to be able to take on a big company, and the best you can hope for there really is that you're asking for compensation that is less than the cost of defending it in court, because the larger company will quite rightfully assume that you're not going to be able to afford the best lawyers, and but they will settle for a lower sum of cash rather than have all the hassle. Harsh but true. The third thing that you need to look into is patenting it, but the problem is that a patent can, for software anyway, can run up into sort of $20,000-$30,000 or even more. So it's not a cheap option. You get a bit more protection in that respect, in that now you can prevent other people from exploiting your invention, but the problem there is that, again, you need to litigate, and patent litigation has been described as the sport of kings, because typically it runs into the tens of millions, so there's no way that you as an individual are going to be able to afford that. However, there is one thing that a patent does give you, which is it kind of hangs over the head of a company that takes your idea and manufactures it themselves, in that you could actually take the patent and go to a rival company and say, look, this company's infringing my invention, they're not paying royalties, I can't afford to litigate, would you be interested in buying the patent off me, producing the product and suing your competitor for infringement? So that way you're a David kind of pitting two Goliaths against each other. But those are really the only options, and it's an unfortunate fact of life that the stronger parties can always strong-arm the weaker parties into doing what they want. It's been like that since the dawn of time, and I imagine that it will continue to be that way. So you really have to be sort of smart and agile and flexible, and just accept that even if your idea is worth a fortune, you're probably not going to see that fortune. If you're lucky, you can see a small proportion of that fortune. There's nowhere I know that you can register an idea. The closest to that is a patent. So anyway, that's my take on how a lone inventor can try to profit from their inventions. It's not a wonderful story. The lot of the lone inventor is not a happy one, but you can try and make the best of what is a bad situation. Hope you found that interesting. Bye for now. See you in the next video.